welcome everybody to episode number 51 of the Third Son Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, senior writer at xboxculture.net. Joined as always by our co-host, starting with Mike. How you doing today?
Better than the two across the street just slammed into each other in their cars, dude.
Yeah, well, that's definitely safer in here. Also joining us is staff writer for xboxculture.net, Graham. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I got to see one of my top bands last night. I had a great time. Didn't really kill my voice altogether, so bear with me if it sounds a little raw.
Yeah.
Sync do a reunion tour?
Tool, man. Tool. The
Oh,
best, greatest bands of all time.
I was gonna guess One Direction, but I guess Tool.
No, that's
I
that's
heard
next
him say
week.
one thing.
That's next week? Okay. And joining us as well, staff writer for xboxculture.net is Eugene. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Maybe actually just average. I'm just doing average.
Average?
Average.
All right. Okay. Cool. And special guest this week, joining us from xboxculture.net, and I apologize, David, I forgot exactly which title you have there, so remind me, but David Fry, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good.
So,
I think I'm just a staff writer
staff
as well,
writer?
so
Cool.
no big worries.
But David's with us
Welcome to
this
the
week.
podcast.
Oh.
David's with us this week 'cause he's kind of like horror game guru, and we're going to talk about Friday the 13th later in the show. So, all of its trials and tribulations in the first week, and if there are any redeemable qualities. So we'll get to that a little bit later. First off, you can join in the conversation by going to our Facebook page. Look up the Third Son Gaming Podcast Forums. That's THIRDSUN Gaming Podcast Forums. Join the community there. If you submit questions and they're read on the show, you are automatically entered into our monthly giveaway, which in June is basically going to be a weekly giveaway starting E3 week. We're going to have giveaways for every single episode that we do during E3 week. So please head over there, take part in that. And you can also follow us on Twitter, which Graham is reinvested in. I thank you for that, Graham.
Hey, no problem.
At Third Son Gaming. So appreciate that. And please head on over to xboxculture.net and playstationculture.net to get the latest in all your gaming news. We take part in those sites and contribute there, and we're happy to say that our show is part of the network over there. So with all that said, let's head into the news this week. Not a lot, and actually before I start, I want to say this will be the last week we talk about any sort of rumors before E3. Next week we're not going to discuss rumors at all. We're going to wait till it actually comes out. I think it's kind of cool to get some surprises. So, I'm actually hoping. I'm actually really proud of Microsoft so far because all eyes, I think, are on them this year, and they haven't leaked anything. So, knock on wood.
I know. Every time I keep
continues.
looking, I'm like, please don't be like 10 issues or articles of just leaks stuff.
I know.
'cause That's how it's going to happen if it does happen. And I'm like you. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah, because that's the one where I just want to be surprised the most.
Yeah.
So I hope that holds. But this will be the last week we talk about any sort of rumors before E3. So, heading into news. Leading off this week, Graham, you're going to be disappointed. But Middle-earth Shadow of War has had a change in its release date from August 22nd to October 10th. It's only a month and a half.
Boo.
Yeah, like it's not that long, and this seems to be more and more the norm now. Just delay it a couple extra months, maybe 3 extra months. Some of them get a lot more bigger delays, but I'm okay with 2 months, and they're saying they need to refine it. So I understand where it's coming from, and I'm totally cool with this. Kind of a letdown. This is the one that I have pre-ordered, but it's not a big deal. I'm over it.
The first game didn't release too buggy, did it?
Oh no,
pretty good, wasn't
No.
ran fantastic to me.
Yeah. So
Cool, that'll give me 2 more months to actually play the first game.
yeah, so
There you go. It's good for that reason, right?
If the first game had been super buggy and then they delayed the second one, I'd be worried. You know, that there's some issues, but if they're just getting it right, cool. I have no issue.
Yeah, and
Well,
with the whole Nemesis system too, right? They might have to do some tweaking and like stuff like that. So I think it's going to improve the game. So take your time.
All right.
This is a Ubisoft title, is it not?
No.
No, this is Warner Brothers, correct?
Yeah, it's a Warner
Yes.
Brothers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been known to hold stuff back all the time too, or send out Batman where it's completely unplayable. You know, you never know.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
did.
but I
They delayed.
think Warner Brothers
Arkham
is
Knight
just
for a while. Go ahead, Eugene. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying, who's the actual developer? I know Warner Brothers is a studio, but I can't think of the. But whoever developed that game. I mean, that first game.
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yes, Rocksteady. Was it? No, it wasn't.
No,
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady's Batman.
No,
Yeah.
I'll look it up real
Yeah.
quick. But anyway, that first game, it was a total surprise to everybody. No one was expecting that game to be so great.
Yeah.
It was kind of a diamond in the rough. It was very surprising when it released, and it is one of my favorite games. It kind of released in between the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I'm pretty sure it released on all those consoles plus the PS4 and Xbox One. But one of my favorite games, one of the very few games that I completed 100%, got the platinum trophy for, and I can't wait for the second one. I mean, a month and a half isn't so bad, but my biggest worry is, how many games are releasing in October and November that,
I know.
we're already
I know.
investing time
I
and
was
money
thinking
in.
the same thing, Eugene.
And how many don't we know about yet?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
that's-
E3 is going to come in next week, and it's just going to blow us away. But I think August would have been perfect because nothing else really huge is coming out in August that I know of, and it would have been a good month and a half to play the game before all the major titles release.
Really?
So I'm pretty bummed
Yeah.
out about it. I trust whoever's developing it that they will do a great job because expectations are high.
Yeah,
so
and I would think that they were trying to push for that date too, because you're saying it's the best date for it to release. So the
Mhm.
fact that they couldn't make that date, it must be pretty important reasons.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you don't want to get lost in the mix of all those great games that's coming out at that point.
Yeah, and the only other major title that generally releases in August is Madden, and that's a totally different fan base. So,
Yeah.
it would have been a good time to get it out, and you beat Destiny by 2 weeks, which probably would have been nice for them. But
Yeah, for sure.
but at the same
So it was
time,
developed by Monolith.
Monolith Games.
Yeah,
I was
there you
gonna
go.
say Monolith.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I think if it's just to touch it up, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I do worry, Eugene, about the number of games we're going to get, but because we don't know when Mario's coming out either, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I have a strong feeling that it will not be December. I don't think they want to wait because that is a huge window
Mhm.
for Nintendo to not have a major release.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, anything else on that?
No,
Nope.
and
All right.
that pretty much covers
All
it.
right, life-shattering news next. That if you've ever wanted a gold PlayStation 4, next week's your lucky week, and because it, by all accounts, is going to hit store shelves next week, according to leaks from Target and Walmart employees, who got them and stocked it on the shelves, even though the sticker says hold until June, whatever. They put it out anyway, tried to sell it, and the register blocked the sale. So people have already been trying to buy it. So it apparently is a real thing. It's out there, but it's coming next week. So if you ever wanted to go PS4, now's time.
Cool,
Do you
man.
think that's
Now,
like?
now I can play my Goldmane DVDs on it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's one
got
of their
some-
major
we got some
E3
thunder
announcements?
rolling through here.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully
sorry,
it doesn't
that's
happen to
coming.
me.
do you think that's one of their major E3 announcements?
No,
Because I mean, it's you don't think so?
no.
No.
I gotta go, bitches.
I gotta
Well, and
We're
why?
gonna-
Like, really, bottom line, why do they have a gold PS4?
It's just because the different
Money.
colors sell. I mean, it's what they're trying to get now is people to buy it multiple times.
Yeah, and are they trying to push it now? It's a premium console because it comes in gold. Because I don't know, I don't get it.
And then a question
Don't
too:
you
is
know,
it
man?
is it the PS4 Pro or is it the standard PS4?
I think it's standard.
That's just silly. Why would you buy a standard
Yeah.
PS4 right now?
Yeah,
Well, why would you buy a PS4 Pro once we see what Scorpio's
Well, I
gonna
mean,
do?
if you're going to invest in a PS4, why not
Exactly.
just spend the $100 more to get the PS4 Pro?
No, I totally
yeah.
So,
That's what I was gonna do until I stumbled upon the deal that I got. I'm like, okay, $100 more Canadian.
Mhm.
I could get like a PS4 Pro. So
And speaking of the PS4 Pro, and I did, to be fair, write the article before I knew there was a gold one. But I did write an article last week about comparing just my personal taste between the Xbox One and the PS4 and why I generally play on Xbox. And my PS4 kind of collects dust a lot of the time. And although I was very clear in the article, hopefully you guys agree, that I like PlayStation 4. It's a good system. But there's just reasons I tend to play Xbox more. It went out and it was met with much butthurt on the internet.
yeah,
Sadly,
What isn't nowadays?
I know. So
no crime
I,
having a favorite
I
console
dared-
out of the two.
I dared to attack the Precious, and Golem came out, and it was not good. So it's not the first time that's happened. I mean, PS4 fanboys have shut our website down before because we call the PS4 Pro the semi-pro. So, whatever. But anyway, if you get a chance to read that, head over to xboxculture.net and take a look.
I read it. It was a good read.
Yeah,
It's a fair article. Yeah.
I don't think I was mean to PlayStation.
Not your article in general, but I think you were being fair in the article.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't think I was being mean. I didn't think I was being out of line. I just thought, hey, these are the reasons.
No, because you stuck up. You gave a lot of points to why the PS4 was successful and why it's still a good system. It's just your opinion on why you played it. That's all it is an opinion piece. But a lot of people take too much criticism, take it too much, take it personally.
They act as if they're shareholders in the company, and they're not. But like Eugene, I know you tend to lean PlayStation, and that's cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, it's awesome that they're both successful. I mean, David, which one do you normally lean to?
I normally lean to Xbox, but lately I've been kind of leaning more towards the PS4 because of their major releases.
Yeah.
Like for Valentine's Day, my fiance bought me Neo. So I was playing that.
Cool. How do you like that?
It's really hard. I'm just gonna say that.
It's like a Souls game, right?
Yeah, it's like Souls, but it's like Edo period Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Fight a bunch of demons, and you got all these different kinds of weapons you can mix match and do. But it's somewhere between, for me personally, somewhere between like Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls, I couldn't do anything, but Bloodborne, it's fast paced and I can advance, progress.
Sure.
This is like somewhere in the middle where you have to you can do it, but you're gonna need to grind half an hour of
Mm-hmm. Sure. So cool. Yeah, and I did say in the article that in 2017, there's no doubt PlayStation 4 is the better exclusives, and unless Microsoft brings something major to the table at E3, there's no question.
Yeah, they're gonna need to compete with Horizon Zero Dawn, and my coworker bought it for me, but Persona 5.
Yeah. So Persona 5 and those are games that have already come out, and there's probably more to come. I mean, I don't think we'll see God of War this year. I really doubt it, but I think we might
be really surprised.
I think we'll see the zombie game this year, though. What's it called?
Yay.
So be looking out.
Walk backwards and shoot simulator.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty much.
but it's
Be
also,
looking
it's
out.
also a good game. Yeah, go ahead, Eugene.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just saying. Me and you are both writing. We have 2 articles in the making. One about E3 predictions and what we want, and then what all of our publishers and all the different stages need to do to be successful at E3. So be looking out for that next week.
Yeah, and I think those are going to be 2 good articles, and I think it's cool because every publisher or the big companies, Microsoft and Sony, they all have different things they need to accomplish, and it's not the same for everybody. Like EA is notorious for throwing Pele on stage for 40 minutes and having developer diaries. Mike, you know what I'm talking about, and just
well, now we can look forward to NBA. NBA Live 18.
They need to put NBA Live away. That franchise is failing. And if they're going to spend time on their sports franchises, put Madden up there, put FIFA up there, and maybe give a little love to NHL, UFC. But quit trying to push NBA up there, because NBA 2K is the behemoth of basketball games, and it's not even close.
Put Tiger Woods up there.
Well, that's not coming up. You can have Tiger Woods. We can have Tiger Woods Forza. The whole screen's just blurry.
Forza, yeah. It's just you crashing into telephone poles.
God. How far the mighty have fallen. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, while your ex-wife chases you with a golf club. It's it's like half golf, half driving. It's a perfect sports game. So
And then somewhere in there's a goat.
Yeah, sure, why not? So, I mean, it sounds like a good game to me. It sounds a hell of a lot better than the last PGA game they put out. So,
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, moving on. Take-Two has acquired Kerbal Space Program. Graham, I know you played this, right?
Yes, I did.
So what? Any thoughts on the game? Are you still a fan of it? I know you don't really play it anymore, but
it's one of those. I'd like to go back into it and put time into it, but it's a tough game, and you would have to work on it and refine your skills and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that Take-Two is took interest in it and purchased it, I'm curious what where it's going to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, for the price of the game, it was a great game. You could kill a lot of time. If you want to be good at it, you got to be prepared to read and practice and work through it. So I would like to get back into it. Will I? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that this news came up kind of makes me think about
Maybe
it
to
again.
don't be committal.
Yeah, I know. He's
But
Canadian.
for those of us that don't know it, it's kind of like a spaceship simulator, right? Where
Yeah.
you build a spaceship and you try to get into space, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and like the physics is really
Trajectories
accurate.
and
Yeah,
things like that.
trajectory. Yeah, and you learn how like different engines and like sequence of engines firing off and the fuel required and weight, and it's really intense.
And it's legit.
I
It's
remember.
legit hard.
Yeah,
It's.
I remember it's crazy on Steam whenever it came out on Steam.
Yeah.
People were going crazy about it, and then whenever people heard about those coming on Xbox, like people went even crazier. So, think we'll see a
Yeah.
sequel?
but
No.
it seems like it might. If they acquire it unless they just wanted the technology for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because I'm sure like the technology of like the physics and all like that and the algorithms, like maybe that's something worth obtaining for something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
It is-
EA should obtain something like this for
Well,
when they
the
do their
physics-
puck physics.
The physics, from what I understand, are on par with NHL's.
Right.
Because NHL used the Hadron Collider,
Yeah,
or the person who worked on it, or whatever, or swept
the
around.
janitor.
Yeah, the person who
Yeah.
swept around it. I don't know, but
or sorry, custodial technician.
yes, custodial technician. There you go. But yeah, I mean, so it's kind of a straightforward story. It's just Take-Two purchased it, so I think there's a future for the franchise.
Mhm.
And that's a good thing because it's cool to see games like that where people can actually learn stuff too, rather than just
Yeah.
shoot stuff. So that's kind of cool. All right, now the article I just was talking about that I wrote, I mentioned in there that there's some things about Sony and their press conferences that just turn me off. And one of the prime examples of that was when they got on stage and asked everybody to give money for Shenmue 3 at
Yeah.
E3. And
Right.
it was really just a turn off kind of moment because Sony could fund that game with the snap of a finger if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But they went on stage at E3 and actually asked people to give money, gamers that don't make anywhere near, what these people do, and, hard-earned money, all that good stuff. Now, the game was funded. They hit their goal of like $2 million or whatever before the people even left the stage in 2015.
All right.
And last year, we didn't see anything of this game. And we made a point to talk about it on the podcast during E3 last year. Now they've announced that Shenmue 3 will not be at E3 2017 either. And Eugene, you have a theory about this. You want to go ahead and share?
Yeah, so I just looked up the Kickstarter again to remind myself how much money they've raised. They've raised $6.3 million. $6.3 million and 69,000 backers. So about 26,000 of those backers are owed a digital copy of the game, which is a lot of people, and that's a lot of money to pledge on Kickstarter. But I just have a strong feeling that I don't think they're going to make their date. Their estimated delivery for this game is December 2017. This
No
December.
No way.
Yeah, so this December. And I really think that they're going to be held accountable by Kickstarter because Kickstarter does have pretty aggressive rules to if you do not meet up to your promises for a game, that you've got to refund all your, the people that funded your Kickstarter. So I just have a strong feeling that since we haven't heard anything about it, which, a lot of Japanese developers, they'll announce their game and they won't talk about it for a while, but to go this long and not hearing about it, I'm just reminded of The Last Guardian and Final Fantasy 15, where all these projects which Final Fantasy 15 did come out, but they got rehashed, and they're not going to give up Final Fantasy 15. But they changed the title many times. It was going to be a 13 spinoff, and then 14 online came out, and then finally Final Fantasy 15 came out. But it was over a 10-year period. Same thing with Last Guardian. I don't think you can do that with Shenmue. I mean, Shenmue was a fantastic game on the Dreamcast if you never played it, but there's just not. It doesn't have the ability to do things like that, like they did with Final Fantasy. So I really don't think they can live up to this pledge, and I honestly think it might get hashed, and they'll have to refund all these people that donated to the Kickstarter.
And if this game was coming out in December, they would have a lot to show off at E3.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to say.
No way. There's no way December.
No.
No.
Any other
No.
thoughts on that?
You
Glad
know
I-
what? Just real quick, I just think that they signed a deal with Homeboy, didn't they? So now he's an exclusive to PlayStation and is no longer under contract. What was it with Capcom?
No, with Konami.
Konami, yeah, yeah. So basically, they just pimped him for the money.
Well, that's
Like,
not,
here.
that wasn't Shenmue though. He's not making Shenmue. He's making Death Stranding.
You're thinking
Yeah.
two different.
Death Stranding.
You're thinking
Oh,
about you're thinking
Hideo
about
Kojima. It's not Hideo
Yeah.
Kojima. This is Yu Suzuka,
Yeah.
who created the Shenmue franchise.
Oh, okay.
Suzuki,
Now I
rather.
remember this
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
all
remember
right,
now, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And really, I think PlayStation, jumped on this. They jumped on this title so they could have rights for it. To show that they supported it. They didn't support it with any funding. They just gave them some stage time to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
this is a game that's coming out, and Sony supports it, even though we're not going to donate any money to it. We want you to." Put your money into it, but I really don't think they can make a December 2017 promise. And like I said,
No
Kickstarter, they have rules. They have rules.
That'll be interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be a mess. It's going to be a mess. And it's going to be
Hopefully they didn't
mighty
spend
number
all the
9.
money.
all over again. Yeah, mighty number 9.
Mighty number 9.
Oh yeah.
So, up next, a game that I get more excited for every single trailer I see, Destiny 2. The beta, the date for the beta anyways, possibly even leaked. An image that was released this week, screenshot, showed up in the corner. The amount of glimmer the person had is 17,177, which could indicate a date of 7/17/17, which is a Monday, as the launch date for the beta. And I know that it's a closed beta at first for people who pre-ordered, and then they open it up at the end for people who haven't pre-ordered yet, just to give everybody a chance to play it. And it last time, if I remember right, this was over a week long, wasn't it? The beta, either a week or over a week. So
I think if you had PlayStation, it was over a week.
Yeah.
If you were on Xbox, it was like maybe 4 or 5 days.
yeah, something like that. But I know I played the hell out of it.
It's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So, and it
Yeah.
seems like the right time, because last year they did it towards the end of July. It's kind of in the same time frame. It's before any games start to release. I think it's the
Yeah.
perfect time to do it. And the only other major beta that's going to be taking place this summer is the Call of Duty one, which is
Yeah.
probably going to be more in August. So, yeah, I think it's perfect time to do it. Plus, it gives them 2 months or a month and a half to kind of tweak things for the game. So,
Right.
it's probably true. And these gaming companies love to hide little things, little hints in their stuff. So
Mhm.
very well may be true, and it's a good catch by someone if it's true. It's a great catch, but
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward
I-
to it. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I really feel sorry for the new Lord of the Rings game, because if they had that out in August, they'd have so many more sales than they will in November or October. October. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your wallet's gonna get smashed left and right. There's gonna be so many other games people are gonna buy.
I'm with you. I'm a little worried that with this date change, that this game could get Sunset Overdrive.
Yep. And let's face it, even Tomb Raider, as good as
Yeah.
the second one was, got Sunset Overdrive too.
Yep.
So
Yes.
That game.
I agree on
and
that.
that was the biggest example, probably. I mean, that was a fantastic game, and Sunset was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Fallout 4 and
Probably
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
on the same day.
And 4.
yeah,
And didn't Halo 5 come
Oh.
out like a week and a half before it?
Somewhere around there.
something
Or
like
2
that.
weeks
But
before it? So
there was no way people were gonna. There were very very small percentage of people that were gonna go get Tomb Raider over
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
in fact, that's what
Yeah.
it was. It was Halo 5, and then the next week it was Call of Duty, and then the week after it was Fallout 4
Mm-hmm.
and Tomb Raider.
I remember
Good
that.
luck.
And then this
Yeah.
year we have Assassin's Creed too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, Shadow of War is still, that will be the one I will play. Like, I'll play Destiny 2, obviously, as well, but my go-to will be Shadow of War.
I mean, if it comes out in October, I'm just waiting until Black Friday to pick it up half off.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, that's
If,
what I
if
did
it's coming
with,
that late, and with
yeah.
all the money that we're spending on other games,
Yeah.
I'll have to wait for some good deals.
And I was
Yeah,
with
that's what I did with Battlefield and Titanfall 2
Oh yeah,
last year.
Oh,
yeah, he's right. That's
$25
right
Black
there.
Friday.
Yep.
Titanfall got smashed. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Titanfall kind of suffered the same fate, even though Titanfall 2 is awesome. And that it's a good strategy, and I've always felt, I know I've talked about it on the show before, but especially with single player games like Shadow of War, that it doesn't really hurt you to wait a little bit because you're going to get the same experience. You're not going to be outgunned and outmatched by people who are already level 50, by waiting. So if it takes waiting 6 weeks to get the game half price, why not?
Yeah. I just thought about something though. They did cut their own fingers sending out that public beta and where everything was different, and then, they're like, okay, and they put getting a Titan back to how it was before.
Oh yeah, but that was a stress test though. That wasn't even a beta, but I see what you're saying, because I was a little. You remember my opinion? I was a little iffy on it, and I even said on the show the only reason I'm still getting this is because I already pre-ordered it. But then I played it and I'm like, this is the game I love. This is the franchise I love. So, and I think when they did the stress test or the tech test, they just did, they did one of the new modes where it was a little different, the criteria for getting a Titan. So, and I think a lot of people kind of jumped off the deep end. So,
I love jumping off the deep end. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you can't have no reactions with no facts, I mean, how are you? How are you American?
If you can't overreact, then what fun is it?
I know. So, all right, let's wrap up news with the Golf Club 2. Anybody that likes golfing games out there?
Yes.
Yeah, the Golf Club 2 is on its way, June 27th, and it's now available for digital pre-order and download on the Xbox One.
Hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
Does it have multiplayer?
I don't know. I did look, but I didn't see. And I know there are some bonuses you get for pre-ordering the game, like special clubs, special whatever. There are some bonuses.
Tiger Woods DLC?
No.
He's not a playable character. We can confirm that.
I would love to have Tiger Woods 14 back, or especially Tiger Woods 10, and just be able to play that. Just make that a backwards compatible game and support it with.
Tiger Woods 10, hell yeah! I want to go back to being Dead Space guy again.
Yeah, that was fun. So,
yep.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, we did miss one.
You had your,
you missed one.
What did I miss? Oh,
you want to talk about
I did.
Ubisoft? Yeah.
Ubisoft confirms Assassin's Creed reveal at E3, and I think we all kind of knew that was coming. But the best news out of this. And I apologize to Aisha Tyler.
Drum roll, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler will not be hosting the Ubisoft briefing on the Monday of E3. So,
best decision ever. Best decision ever.
Interesting.
It was just so awkward and bad and cheesy.
Yes.
And I've seen Aisha Tyler on different TV shows where she's been good.
Yeah.
But, man, in that setting, it's just not.
A video game conference is not for her.
No. It's
like
not.
some of the jokes she was making, I remember with Trey Parker and Matt Stone about the stick of truth. It was just, I wish they would have just kicked her off stage.
Well, she's coming out there and dropping F-bombs left and right too.
Yeah.
And it's not really a setting for that.
It's not very professional.
It's a professional environment, and it's not really just the place for that. But anyway, we wish her the best. We know she loves games. That not much is obvious. So
maybe Microsoft will pick her up for their
no.
conference.
Don't say that.
You guys are forgetting one thing. Aisha Tyler is extremely popular because she is the voice of the girl on Archer, and Archer's a big fan favorite of gamers.
Yep. You know what I bet Aisha Tyler could do really, really well in a
I bet it
in a conference.
Besides what she suggests.
is snap her fingers above her head. I know the perfect company for her to host for.
There's no way that would ever fly.
Nintendo conference hosted by Aisha Tyler. Let's do it.
Yeah. One more thing before we take off from the news. Did you mention anything about City Skylines yet?
No, I will do that right now. So City Skylines has gotten the long-awaited update for Xbox One, where now you can fast forward through time a little quicker. Mike, you said before it was 30 seconds to get through what? How long?
What was that?
What was the original time frame on Xbox One? It was taking how long to get through? How much time?
Oh, for one day it was close to, was it 13 seconds a day?
Okay, 13.
Yeah, 13 seconds a day, about that, and that's a long time. And you've seen the size of the cities I've built, and so I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
So
So that's
that
good.
ought to bring that ought to breathe a little bit more life into the game on the Xbox now.
Good. So that'll make and it's just bringing it up to the standard it was at PC. It's not
Right.
like Xbox players have a lower attention span. It's just bringing it up to where it should be. So
Basically, all they need at this point is mod support, and it'll be good.
yeah. So cool. All right, everybody. That's gonna do it for news this week. Horrors.
Well, it's safe to say that our new releases, especially for PS4, are mostly coming to us on June 6th.
Yeah.
Yep, but that's a Tuesday. But to start things off, I'm going to start with some DLC for both PS4 and Xbox One. We have some highly anticipated DLC for an MMO that many people have logged many hours into.
Oh yeah.
And now they'll have some more incentive to continue doing this. Talking about the Elder Scrolls Online, and this DLC is called Morrowind.
Yep.
And this DLC will be released on June 6th and will be released for Xbox One and PS4, joining the PC release, which released on May 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go over to PS4 releases. That's all happening on June 6th. Yep, everyone. We have Dark Rose Valkyrie, Claydon Returns. This is Sengoku.
What was that?
Sengoku.
Oh, okay.
SENG. Yeah, there we go. See, I said it right. Practicing. We have Wipeout Omega Collection, Dirt 4, Super Beat X Onic, The Town of Light, and Perception. Now,
Okay.
those looking to get Dirt 4, because I'm not sure there's many people out there, they can
Sure.
also pick it up for Xbox One and PC. But if you're planning on getting it for the PC, you'll have to wait 3 extra days for its release date on the 9th.
Oh no.
Yep.
Dun,
And along with
dun.
Dirt 4, the PS4 will share release dates with PC and Xbox One systems. For PC players, Claydon Returns. This is Sengoku. Will share its release date with the PS4.
Mhm.
And for Xbox One owners, we have Super Beat X Onic, The Town of Light, and Perception. Now, both The Town of Light and Perception will release on the 6th and can be picked up for either Xbox One, PS4, or both if you choose to do so.
Mhm.
As for Super Beat X Onic, it'll be released one day after the PS4 release.
I think it's Sonic, by the way.
Sonic,
Yeah, just Sonic.
the next.
Yeah,
Why
Sonic.
did you do this stuff? It's
I don't know. I don't know why they gotta make it
Just gotta
complicated.
gotta make it complicated. All right. Also on the 6th, we have a title releasing for Xbox One and PC. That title is Neighbor Horde. Now, sounds like a
Glad you
a
said that
zombie
right.
game to me, huh?
Glad you said that one right.
Dang, I thought it was like a Leisure Suit Larry thing or something.
Yeah.
Hey, one could hope. So to finish off our Xbox One releases for next week, we have Zazen and Refunked. Now both titles will be released on the 7th. For the Nintendo side, we have new releases for both the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS. First, we have releasing on the 6th for the 3DS, Farming Simulator 18.
Hell
I know-
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Woo!
Everyone's more for.
A lot of
And
people love
finally-
that game.
But
I
they
know.
do. Really
It's-
do.
It's not bad to watch if they have a good personality on Twitch.
It's like Cheese Whiz, man. It adds personality. And finally, on the Switch, you can get Goner on the 8th. And that will do it for new releases. So let's say, Mike, what's cooking in the deals department this week?
Well, Grammy and the rest of the party people out there, let's start with what's available for free for the Xbox in June. So we're going to start out with Speedrunners. It's available right now as of today. Make sure you get that downloaded as of the 6th, the 15th, or the 16th. Watch Dogs will be available for free, and so will the DLC for Phantom Dust. Starting today, Assassin's Creed 3 is free on the 360, and starting on the 16th, Dragon Age Origins will also be free as well. Going over to the PlayStation. Finally got the list. They love to save it till the last day of the month. Killing Floor 2. Life is Strange, which is a pretty damn good game.
Great game.
Yep. That's also available for free. On the PS4, we got Abyss Odyssey, which is on the PS3. World Rally Championship 5 on the PS3. Neon Chrome, which is on PS Vita, which is cross-buy with PS4, and Spy Chameleon in the same
boat as that one. So that's what's for free for those two machines. Now, it's a little, like I said, it's a little thin this week. So we got a few for the Xbox, one for PlayStation and one for Switch. So got a $50 Xbox gift card, $43.69 via CD Keys with the Facebook promo code. So that's almost $7 off of
Free
real
money.
Yeah, it's free money. So get on that while you can, and that's fresh. Xbox One S wireless controller, latest model with Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain is $39.99 at Newegg via eBay. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that's a controller that's discounted, plus you basically get a free game with it. So, to hold me back. Xbox One S 1 terabyte console, Gears of War 4 bundles, $239 at Newegg. Refurbished 1 terabyte Xbox One with the Division is $195.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, I had to clear my throat real quick there. $195.87 via eBay as well. The only real thing that they have for the PlayStation 4 this month, this right now, is 35% off select PS4 games via Newegg. So they've got a list of them you can go check out. It's probably just as good as Amazon's deals and stuff like that. UFC, NHL, FIFA, a lot of the EA Sports games are on sale and last until the 5th of this month. So, EA Access isn't on PS4, so if you want to check out those deals, go for it. I think like NHL is like $10 or something. That's not bad at all. And for the Switch, GameStop has 5 different bundles available, anywhere from $3.99 to $4.69. The usual suspects. They got a Zelda bundle, they got a Mario Kart bundle with some extra accessories. You gotta go check those out because they're just flavors. So that's pretty much it for me, Ty. It's like I said, it's a thin week.
All right, I think we'll see a lot more deals coming in the next couple weeks. Both consoles generally have a pretty good sale during E3, so I'm sure we'll see some cool stuff there. Also, when we see new consoles announced, you generally see other consoles get marked down a little bit, so we might see some stuff happening then. All right, let's move into our interview segment, and we did have David on this week to talk about Friday the 13th, and he's currently writing the review for XboxCulture.net, which will probably be posted tonight or tomorrow. By the time you listen to this, it'll already be up. So
read it.
And David, what were your initial thoughts on the game? And I know there are a lot of issues, so let's talk about those first, actually. So what are the issues that have kind of plagued the game since the start?
Well, the main issue that people have had with the game was that it was not letting them get past the title screen, which, and they was saying like database login error, and that was just weird. Like, I don't know, people claiming that they couldn't get past it. There's a patch coming in to fix that, but by playing the game, I did come across a quick fix. Like, I did get that. And
we're losing him a little bit here. So
Yeah.
A little bit.
So you're saying there's a quick fix, and rather than doing the quick match, you should do what?
Well, quick fix for the database login error.
Okay.
Hit Y to go offline, and then you'd hit A to
Okay.
sign in, and then it would work. Whatever. it was.
Weird.
It's funny they make those little workarounds, eh? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
that's what the internet's for, right? Right? They learn these little tips how people
Yeah.
are figuring out how to get through menus and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So
Thanks, Greg.
once you actually got into a game, like, how fun is the game? Is it good? Does it have a lot of replayability to it?
Right now, it's really light on content. Like, there's only. Let me do a quick. 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 7 Jason.
Okay.
If you don't have the pre-order one, and then there's probably around 10 or so.
Counselors, okay.
Yeah, the counselors all have different stats. Some are better at stamina.
So now, if I remember right from looking at it, the counselors, you can't even unlock like the second one until level, was it 10 or 15?
Well, they give you like, you do triple right at the start.
Mm-hmm.
and one of which is like the average Joe guy. He's like 5 and everything.
Sure.
Best one to start out in.
Okay.
But once you start playing the game, it doesn't give you a hey, if you want to call the cops, make sure you find
Hmm.
do this or how to escape from Jason. It's just like, hey, go play.
Just go
So-
and go ahead and jump in and go.
Yeah, and so you're like, okay, how do I lay down these straps?
Hmm.
Start. So it takes like a game or two to get used.
Okay. So do you have any kills over Jason yet?
Do I have any kills over Jason?
Yeah.
I have not killed Jason yet. I know I did see some looking.
Yeah, do me a favor, stop and say that part again. We have a little bit of bad connection, everybody. I apologize for that, but
Okay.
stop and say that part again, please.
There were Xbox Game Hub posts where people would post for that specific achievement
Okay.
because quick matches aren't working right now.
Right.
You have to do private matches, so it's really easy to get people in. Get that.
Sure.
But it is
Yeah.
really, really hard to kill Jason.
Yeah. Mike, I know you were saying you saw something online, like a kind of an easy way to kill Jason, or maybe not easy, but a surefire way, if you can pull it off.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, you got all your friends and you rally the troops, and then Jason's going to start making the screen, fizz and everything like that. And then he shows up, you whack the hell out of him until he goes down, and then when he gets back up, you got to have somebody be able to aim really well, because apparently it's kind of tough to get an overhand swing on him and crack his mask off. Once his mask comes off, that other guy that you can come back as with the rifle, you give him the machete and he goes running up, and as soon as Jason's incapacitated, goes up and just machetes him right across the freaking skull, and that's it. He's done.
So I've heard, doesn't Corey Feldman like make an appearance? He's like a special character that you can call, like the sheriff or something.
I don't know, but I know the character he was talking about was Tommy Jarvis,
Yes.
who is like the main like rival to Jason, because he's the only one to have like killed Jason.
Yeah.
So
That's who I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't he.
he played
I
the
don't
kid
think Corey
version
Feldman
of
was
Tommy
Friday
in
the 13th.
part 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
part 3 or part 4.
Because he comes out with a shotgun, right?
Yeah,
he
he
comes out
comes
with the
when he
shotgun,
spawns in. He has the shotgun.
Yeah, and that stuns Jason for a while, and then you have the chance to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, you knock his ass down and then knock his helmet off, and then what's his face, Mr. Jarvis, comes in and goes, "Why-ya!" and that's it.
Yeah.
So you actually go,
And he goes, "Why-ya!"
So,
That'd be
David,
pretty really
I'm
good.
going to ask you, do you normally, well, I don't know how many times you played, but do you use the same counselor over? Have you tried to experiment with other ones just to see how much they vary by having like different stats, or do you normally just go with the same one?
I vary because I'm still fairly early on because of all the issues,
Mhm.
but there's one that's unlocked from the start. Like I said, the average Joe guy. He was kind of my favorite from the get go. But then there's also like a athletic black girl one. She's like she can run for quite some time, and that's handy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then there's like some Asian goth girl that's pretty good in like sneaking around, but she's really slow. I messed
Okay.
around with them, and
Okay.
last night I just unlocked like the jock character, like the football player
Mhm.
guy, and he's got the stamina, the speed, and the strength.
Mhm.
So, but
And
before
then
I
we guess he lacks intelligence.
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably.
no, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
But before I could like take a swing at Jason, the game disconnected. So.
Oh,
Uh,
that sucks.
That's disheartening, eh?
So
Yeah.
do you have a couple that you picked out that you're generally gonna? Because I'm sure you play the game differently when you're doing a review than you would if you're just playing, right? So you want to try out all the characters. Are there a couple that are your absolute favorites so far, other than the one that's 5s across the board?
As of right now, it's I kind of ping pong between that one and then the athletic black girl
Okay.
right now. But there's still a handful that I haven't unlocked yet, just because of like the XP problem and
Sure.
stuff like that.
So another question real quick. So next month we get, what's it called? Dead by Dawn? Is that correct?
Dead by Daylight.
Or Dead by Daylight. So it's kind of a competitor. I mean, it really is. And do
Yeah.
you think this game is going to hold up enough to still be relevant? Because a lot of people in our community are really kind of hesitant to buy this game because they see it being sort of a flash in the pan, something that's really popular for 2 or 3 weeks, and then nobody plays it anymore.
That's
you-
my fear for it.
And that's how
Especially
I
if
kinda
they don't
feel
get
about
these
it.
problems fixed quickly.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because it's been, a week, and
Yep.
the Xbox release didn't even release on time. It was
No,
supposed
yeah.
to release at it was like midnight Eastern
Yep.
time, and it didn't even release until like 11 noon the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching for it, and I actually went because we recorded the show last week, and then I was still up and went to go download the game, and it wasn't there, and it took middle of the day the next day to.
Yes, yeah, same here. When I came home from work the next day, it wasn't even like technically like in the store list. You had to
Mhm.
search for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like when we talked in Skype chat, because I initially hinted that I might want to do the review for this game, and you very quickly and enthusiastically stated your intent on doing it. So that's cool. What's your excitement level about the game now? Is it anywhere near where it was before it came out? Do you see yourself still loving this game? And what's it going to take for them to kind of get you to play this game consistently once you're done with the review?
I'm still gonna play it for a while because I've been playing for about a week or so now, and
Mhm.
even like that first time Jason comes up on you,
Mm-hmm.
it gets your heart raised. You're not gonna be like,
Sure.
"Whoa, crap!" like out loud, but you're gonna feel it, and
Right.
that's the good thing about this game is they got the atmosphere down perfect, and that's one of the more redeeming things about it.
Cool.
Like I said at the review, is when it works great.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate that this is the kind of experience that it's giving you because it is hurting the game overall, and now people are hesitant in getting it. It's almost like a no man's buy now where everyone's like, they're like,
Yeah.
now they don't
You
want
know-
to buy it. They've seen reviews, they've heard what people say about it, and they're like, okay, well, I don't want to deal with this. And then next thing you know, another great game is going to come out, and then it's just going to get lost, which is
You know-
unfortunate, but it seems to be
Yeah.
what's happening.
This could be proving that the Evolve formula is not a good formula for video games. We will see with the Dead by Daylight if that is it going to be one thing versus a whole bunch of people, or is it going to be a few things versus people, or how's it going to go on the multiplayer thing?
I think it's one monster, isn't it? Dead by
Yeah.
Daylight? Yeah.
Yeah, Dead by
Yeah.
Daylight, it's still one serial killer versus I don't know how many people. But in Friday the 13th, it's 1v7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time it might take a little bit to get going. Once you get going, you're going to find them and it may
Mhm.
go down a little bit, but you're going to have all those powers.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can't find the last two people or so.
Yeah.
So something else too. You're able to play as Jason,
Yes.
right? So how many times have you played as Jason, and what's the difference in the experience?
As Jason, I kind of have a little more fun with it because, in game chat, you can hear, as Jason, you can hear the other people as you get close to them. It's a proximity thing. So if they're talking through their headset, and you're talking through yours, you can hear each other.
That's
So
a neat feature.
it's just nice when you're walking through the forest and you hear people, oh man, we just need
Oh,
keys to get to the
that's-
car. You're just like,
That's cool.
oh man, did I
Yeah.
hear somebody say something about keys? And
I
you're
like
just
that.
I've heard that playing as Jason is a lot more fun. It's just a little bit more rare to
Mhm.
play as Jason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's still the Evolve equation, one
It
versus
is.
four or whatever, and that failed miserably. So if this one fails, and the next one fails, maybe it's just time to get off of that.
But Dead by
Or-
Daylight had a good run on PC, right? That's a game that's been out on PC
I
already.
believe it still is.
Yeah.
It kind of got a little bit of a resurgence because I think they had like a Michael Myers Halloween DLC.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
nice. Yes, it
So-
would.
Yeah.
So they're kind of well, Friday the 13th is coming out. We got Michael Myers now.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Michael Myers one I could actually get down with more than the Friday
Yeah.
13th one. Because Michael Myers can drive cars. He can do all kinds of crap.
Well,
know?
and that's the thing with Jason in this one. He's got different powers, and
Yeah, right.
you know, you hold right bumper and then press like one of the face buttons, A, B, X, Y, and you can do different things. Like
Mhm.
the first one you get, I think it's called Morph. It's right bumper and B, and it allows you to teleport anywhere around the map. That's
Yeah.
how Jason gets around so fast.
Mhm.
Right.
And then the next one is right bumper and A, and it's like a blood sense or a fear sense. Sense.
It's like radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to and you see like red silhouettes, and
Mhm.
once they get to like a building, you'll just see like this big building glowing red off. Oh yeah, there they are. And then like the next one, right bumper and X is a like an Evil Dead first person camera, and allows you to like kind of
Oh,
disappear
cool.
for a second, and you go around through the woods. It's not quite like, but
Yeah.
I can't run as fast
Cool.
as this counselor. Let me cut them off, and you
Yep.
just appear right in front of them, and it allows you to, if
Mhm.
you can get a quick grab.
Nice. So
Yeah.
And then-
what's the craziest kill you've seen?
I mean, one of my favorites is you choke him as Jason. You kind of lift him up off the ground a bit,
Mhm.
and then he takes his free hand and he just punches a hole through their torso, like the
Okay.
ribs and everything. You can like punch people's heads off.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
one I don't remember what it's called, but the way it's neutered. Take
Mhm.
X and you like they're on the ground. You take the X, swing it at the
Say that part again, David. So they're on the ground. You hit X, I think you said.
they're on the ground and you have your axe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you swing at their crotch, and then they're like, oh, and you just rip it out and you hit them in the neck with it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I watched a montage of like all the, well, I don't know about all of them, but a ton of different deaths in that game, and there are some gruesome deaths.
Yeah, you can like squish somebody's head. In between
Yeah,
your
the
hands.
fireplace one too.
Yeah, there's environmental weapon
Yeah,
kills
that one's
as
pretty
well as
intense.
melee kills.
Nice.
I saw
this-
a pretty
Go
saw a
ahead,
pretty
Nick.
funny one. So I was watching Angry Pug stream, and he's got some people who play with him that are pretty funny. And he came back as Jarvis because he got killed,
Mhm.
and they were getting the car ready, and he was on the other side of the car, and Jason appeared and either kicked or punched the car, and the car went the back end went fishtailing and hit him and killed him.
Oh, great! I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
that
thought that-
happen.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was
So
like, he's like, how the hell did that just happen? Because it happened so fast on screen that you couldn't tell. He just turned into a puddle on the ground, you know. So he went to the replay, and you could see that Jason hit the car, and the car just splattered him, just right to the ground. Good night, Irene.
Great.
so Dave, before we get to the score you're gonna give, what are some of the other horror games you really like? Like for me, I really like Evil Within. Even like Layers of Fear I played last year, which I thought was a different kind of horror game. No enemies, but kind of that psychological mess with your head type thing.
Yeah.
What are some of the other games you like?
I really liked Resident Evil 7. Like it was
Okay.
really short, but it was a good game. I really liked it. If I had a PlayStation VR, I'd love to play it in VR
Sure.
Yeah.
because I actually was able to play the demo at like a GameStop before the game
Mhm.
came out. And it's great.
Mhm.
I did enjoy Layers of Fear and stuff. I liked it was an indie game, but it was called Spooky's House of Jump Scares.
Okay.
Or now it's called Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion because of legal issues.
Okay.
Hmm.
Of course.
All right.
And then there's another indie game, SCP Containment Breach.
Okay. I
So
don't think I've
those,
heard of that.
there's like an internet community, kind of like a creepypasta thing, and
Okay.
there's things called SCPs, and they're like crazy monsters and different things. And
Hmm.
Some of them
Cool.
can kill you, some of them are lethal, and it's just they all break out, and you're stuck in the middle of
Huh.
these things.
That sounds interesting, actually. So
Yeah.
I might have to check that out. All right. So, what is the score that you plan on giving Friday the 13th? And please, everybody, go read his review at xboxculture.net. It should be up by the time you listen to this. So, what's the score you plan on giving?
Right now, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, just
Okay.
because, like, I'm a fan of the series, but because in the broken state that it is, I can't give it a good score.
Right.
Once they fix everything, I feel like I could give it at least a 7.5 or an 8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. And
All right.
and I agree with you. I think
Fair enough.
unfortunately you have to review the game in the state it's in, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they're planning on fixing it, but they were supposed to have a fix Wednesday, weren't they?
Yeah,
And
they were
as-
like, yeah, middle of the week, and then
Yeah.
I don't even think PS4's gotten the patch, and PS4 is supposed to get patched before Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Steam has it. Steam got the patch, but it's also the easiest to implement. That was their thing, saying, well, Xbox
Mhm.
has the longest QA thing, and as we've been dealing with that, we found more things to
Right.
fix or add to it or whatever.
Well, and it kind of stinks because it's almost like they've been punished for success, but at the same time, they should be ready because
Yeah.
they claim that a lot of this happened because they literally sold so many more copies of the game than they thought they were going to,
Yeah,
and their
like they
servers
were.
blew up.
Yeah, like they were. I think they were prepared for between based on the beta that they had, like their average concurrent players were like 5,000.
Yep.
And then they
Yeah.
added a little bit of cushion, and then they tripled it because of the 3 consoles they were on, and then
Sure.
they added some more cushion, and it
Yeah.
ended up being like 35.
Yeah, 35,
1,000.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they got hit on launch day, they got hit for 75,000 at one time.
Yep.
So their servers got to like 50,000 and then just crapped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
See,
what's
the
been
big
problem.
thing they said about that is like they had like the numbers of pre-orders. They knew how many people were getting it, so they're like, there's not an excuse. But I don't know. It's hard to say exactly where it came from.
The problem is
It's
that
unfortunate the whole outcome.
it is, and the problem is they didn't really know because there's no way I could pre-order the game digitally.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, you weren't able to pre-order it on PS4 or Xbox
Yep.
One. You just
Yeah.
knew from PC or
So
the
does that-
Kickstarter.
So does that mean that the Xbox and the PS4 are ass out on that pre-order, Jason, or do they just get it automatic?
Well, if you pre-ordered it through the Kickstarter, I think you were able to get it
Oh,
because they gave you they emailed you.
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Well, thank you. You know, I still say check out the game. It looks really fun. It sounds like you really enjoyed the time you've had when you actually get in. So hopefully when the patch hits, it'll be a really good experience. So, all right,
Yep.
cool. Let's move into our fan mail for the week. Eugene, it looks like we have like 4 questions, maybe 5.
Yeah, we do have a few questions here. I'll start off with Steven Wiseman. Don't know who that is. So, what is your favorite video game soundtrack? Mine is the Kingdom Hearts series.
I go
Favorite
first
games,
on
though.
I go first on this one because that's a pretty easy one for me. It's Halo. So,
Okay.
That's it.
I'm-
Just that orchestra and the
Yeah,
the choir
Yes,
singing.
the choir especially. Like that's
Yeah.
what does it. Like I remember when they announced, like you remember E3 a couple years ago or whatever when they announced Master Chief Collection, and like the room went dark and you just could hear the choir.
You just hear it, yeah.
Yeah, like yes, it's so good. It's so
Well, it's a lot better than that, but
yes. I mean you're close, but don't quit your day job.
So
But I mean, I think you're right. Halo. Whenever when you're playing the game, even I was playing the Master Chief Collection. Me and my girlfriend were playing the first one, and just when the music plays to match the tension of the game.
yeah.
So whenever you get into like a dark area, or the flood is coming towards you, just the way the music just captures the moment, and
Yep.
it is
Which-
a great soundtrack.
Which Halo game was it where you're on like the Warthogs or whatever, and you're going through at the end of the game, and there's
It's
like a
one.
falling platform?
Almost
It's one.
like
No.
almost all of them.
Yeah.
The second one, you're
Okay.
up in the sky.
I'm thinking it's either the second or third one.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are the
so
ones I've played.
the first game ends on the last level with a warthog level, where you have to kind of race through these corridors.
Yeah.
No, this was like an
Um,
outside, like on the
I
side.
think
of
the
the
third one is like where you're up in
yes.
the air, you're up in the sky.
yeah.
Yes, I think it's 3. You're right. Yep.
It was-
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go with Fallout 3
Okay.
because I like too though you can just like turn on the radio and listen to radio and all these like songs come on. So, and those songs have just burned a hole in my head, so I can sing them on a whim at any time.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I gotta say, I've gotten them through like Steam, but some of the like Japanese fighting games like Guilty Gear or BlazBlue. Some of those soundtracks
Uh.
just like get you so pumped up, and
Mhm.
those are the best games that I guess best soundtracks. That,
The best.
yeah,
The
yeah.
best.
The best ever.
I would say for me, I'm a huge fan of Nobuo Uematsu. He does a lot of the music for SquareSoft and Square Enix. So a lot of the Final Fantasy titles, I love his music. He's done Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, anything really to do with Square Enix. Nobuo Uematsu is mine. Any
You're right,
of
Final
his
Fantasy
music.
has good music to it.
Yeah,
It really
yeah, and
does.
he composes the majority of their music up to I think Final Fantasy 10 is where he kind of stopped.
Mike, what you
I'm
got?
going to go a little different direction than you gentlemen. I'm going to go with Guitar Hero 3 because the songs that came with that version of that game were very good.
Definitely had the best music, Mike. I was gonna
Yep.
say I was gonna name one of them, but I'm like, well, that's kind of cheating. But yeah,
Yeah.
Guitar
No, I
Hero
don't think
3.
it's cheating. I mean, if you really want to cheat, I could say pretty much any Star Wars game that's ever come out.
Sure.
You know, but I think that I just think outside of the box is a little different. I really liked Guitar Hero 3 soundtrack.
I'm a big Guitar Hero fan over here. So
I'd remove Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss though, because that song
Yeah.
drove me nuts.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of their cover artists. Just they do nail a lot of the voices, but you can tell in some covers that they don't do so well.
Well, they had Social D. They had Smashing Pumpkins on that one. I
Or
mean,
the
you could probably-
Rage Against the
Yeah.
Machine, Slow Ride.
Yeah.
They had One by
Welcome to the
Metallica.
Jungle.
Yep.
Yeah. Raining Blood by Slayer.
That sounds pretty
That,
good.
Yeah.
that metal cover of Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Hit me with your
We-
best
we
shot.
want that song. We don't want Devil Went Down to Georgia right now.
So many
Don't
times I
forget,
listen to
don't
radio,
forget Death Clock.
and I hear something, I'm like, that's Guitar Hero 3. That's Guitar
Yeah.
Hero 3.
I do the
Yep.
same thing.
Yeah.
Knights of Sandonia by the Muse.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
you're making me want to play it now.
They're so dope.
You don't want to play it.
Six
All right.
and
All right,
Like
next
rock
question.
This fallen chain.
What do we got next?
Dylan Anderson asks, if you could bring a game or franchise back from the dead, what would it be? So he
This is easy.
suggests Crisis. So I wrote up an article on Xbox Culture about 6 games I'd like to see rebooted. And one of the games I said was Silent Hill. And David, you might appreciate that if you like the horror game genre. But I was so excited whenever they released the PT demo, and just that demo alone it is a scary game. But I love the Silent Hill series. It was just a great PlayStation franchise. It came over on the Xbox 360 with some of their sequels that they had. But I'd like to see Silent Hill just make a big comeback.
Okay.
Well, you probably will make a comeback, but probably as a pachinko machine.
Oh God, you got some Konami jokes there.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I got jokes.
Let's see. Who else? What would you like to see?
Rebooted? I had this for a second here. Grammy, take this one real fast. It just slipped my mind.
Well, I'll go for a quick. I'd say a Ninja Turtles game. I haven't played one of those great ones, and bring back some nostalgia because I loved Ninja Turtles as a kid growing up. I was a
Did you play
huge
the
Ninja Turtles
Did you
fan.
play the last one, the last arcade game that they had?
No,
It was an arcade game, but it got pretty
Wasn't
good
it
reviews if I remember.
The one
Yeah.
by Platinum Games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think that was the TMNT game, but which I think also got good reviews. But there's
Yeah.
also an arcade version as well. Here recently, like I
know
think
they had
last
one.
year.
The only arcade one I know is the one on NES.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember,
no, there's a set-
that's when I played the crap out of.
Yeah.
There is an arcade game that right at the end of the 360's life, or when the one about came out, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remastered and all kinds
Yes.
of stuff.
Yep.
So
That was actually
that's,
pretty good.
yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
So for me, this one, I thought about it, like, I don't know what to come up with, but then it hit me, and it's easy. If I could bring one franchise back, I'm going to go down the sports road here. I'm going to say NCAA football. And
Oh yes.
it'll never come back, but I wish it would because it was better than Madden every single year. We would play online franchise, the online or online dynasty, with a bunch of friends, and do the recruiting against each other and all that stuff, and it was just so much fun. And
Yeah, I mean, you wanna talk about game music too. The
Yes.
way they had the bands set up in that game, and the
Mhm.
way they built momentum in the games. That you're right.
Yes.
Oh, glad you brought that up.
Momentum was great. Like I always play as Minnesota Gophers, so I go into and do the horseshoe in Ohio State, and the pass patterns would be shaking, and the whole stadium's shaking because you're on the road in a hostile environment, and you're a serious underdog, and it reflects that in the game. So
Yeah.
there's just little things like that were so cool. You could upload your own music and have your own touchdown music, first down music, whatever. It was so well done by the end. It was better than Madden every year, and a better time with it. And I really wish it would come back, but it won't.
Yeah.
Speaking of sports games, I really wish they'd do like a Blitz the League or NFL
Yeah.
Street, or even one of those.
hmm
Yeah.
I don't think any other company can get an NFL license other than EA. I think they have exclusivity to it. In
I think you're right.
Every way.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So,
Yeah.
because
I
NFL
would say-
2K was really good too. Back
Yes, it
NFL
was.
2K5.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Never played them.
NHL 2K5 was about freaking impossible to score a goal in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what do you got, Mike? You thought of anything?
Yeah, I did, but I had something better to say, and then I forgot it when somebody just said something. But I guess
So
for
your,
now
so
on.
your answer is Kafefe.
And there it is.
I guess off the top of my head, I mean, I'd have to say the Tiger Woods series, but I actually had something that wasn't a sports game, but I just completely lost it. Maybe
Well, I
I
was gonna say one that I'm sure it's gonna come back. I just don't know when. And hopefully it's soon. As a Metroid game,
Yeah.
like a
Mm.
full-blown
Oh, yeah.
Metroid game. Like that'd be amazing. And the Switch is the time to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because I really was wishing for a good Star Fox game, and I got Star Fox Zero on the Wii U.
Oh, let's not even talk about that.
Yeah, it was.
Now
was
the
fun,
add-on,
but it was
in the
disappointing.
packaging. What was the kind of the short game that they had with it? That was actually
Star
really
Fox
good.
Guard.
Yeah, Star Fox Guard. You're right. That was actually pretty. I like Star Fox Guard a lot better than the actual game.
Actually, I'm going to retract the Tiger Woods thing, and I'm going to go on the PlayStation and say I would like to see another medieval game.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
might see that coming soon, especially with all these reboots they're doing with Crash Bandicoot and
They'll,
everything.
they'll probably have it at E3, and it'll come out in 2026. So.
Yeah, well,
I
We got
just
some
thought of one
PlayStation
that
chips.
I'd really like. The one reboot I'd really like is Tactics Ogre. Anybody?
Oh
plays-
yes, I love those
Tactical RPG.
for SNES and everything. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's Tactics Ogre 64 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got it, or Ogre Battle 64.
Ogre
That's
Battle,
it,
sorry,
on the
Ogre
shelf
Battle,
over
yeah.
here. But I remember Tactics Ogre on the PlayStation 1, and I just wanted to come back so bad.
yeah. Those are some good franchises.
Come on, Square,
sure.
hold up Final Fantasy 7 and give us Tactics Ogre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, actually. So, all right, Eugene, what do we got next?
Brian Original asked, "What is your first gaming memory? What turned you into a gamer?"
Anybody want to go first?
Yeah. Actually, I will.
Okay.
I'm a little bit before you guys. So, a friend of mine had a Commodore 64, and I already had a 2600 and stuff like that. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't really too much into it, but he had the Bard's Tale, and for some reason that game interests the hell out of me. You know, being role playing, building up your guys. You know, these random encounters, going dungeon crawling and stuff like that. I don't know. I would just go over his house and just watch him play all the time, and it was just what I really, really, really liked, and good memory.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
For
Well,
me,
go ahead.
my first gaming memory was Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Genesis.
Nice.
I was like 5 or 6,
Yep.
and I just remember like uppercutting dudes into spikes or into
Spikes,
the pool of
yeah,
acid.
yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great game. I love those games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember going to Blockbuster and couldn't rent it because there's like news. You know, it was on the news how violent it was and everything, so I wasn't allowed to.
Well, Mortal Kombat was the game that got the ratings board going.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Yep.
Yeah.
That and Night Trap.
yeah, that too. Oh, good
And
God.
it was also the game that got people started on the idea that gaming makes people violent.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah,
That's
and
That's when I shot my first person.
I tell you what, though, I'm not trying to push any buttons here, but people talk about video games making people violent. I want to know what makes people in the Denver suburbs, high school students in the Denver suburbs, lose their freaking minds once or
Playing
twice
Call of
every
Duty.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
It's got to be something with the elevation. I swear.
and Call of Duty, I'm sure. So, but no, I don't know. But
So okay, I would say my earliest memory of like I guess consistently playing the video game would be Mario 1 for the NES. I love that game. Like how you would try to go through it, like go through all like the warp zones and get through like 8 right away, and you could finish the game super fast. And there's like hidden like 1-ups and stuff like that. So that would be my first gaming experience. But part where I became a gamer pretty late, I would think, where I would consistently consider myself a gamer because growing up as a kid, you only had access to a couple games and you would trade games and stuff like that, and not like consistently get new games and try them out. So I would probably have to say it was probably Modern Warfare for 360. It's
Oh
when
man,
I
you're a late bloomer.
officially became a gamer.
yeah,
Jesus.
and I am too. I am too in a way, and I'm gonna touch on this, and I won't say Modern Warfare, but it's kind of 3 games for me because I was always a sports gamer as a kid. Like I played my NHL and I played my Madden and baseball games and all that stuff, and I never really played too much of the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then in 2005, I got my Xbox 360 and I got my hands on Call of Duty 2, and it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Like when you start that game and you have the landing on Normandy and all that stuff, it was just amazing. And yeah, I'm a little biased, so I'm a history major in college and all that stuff, so it was like right up my alley. But really cool, and that got me into shooters. And then a couple years later, I got my hands on BioShock, and that taught me the incredible world and story that games can drop you in.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And then a couple years after that, I got Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
And that really taught me to appreciate just open world games.
Yeah.
Like, I was not an open world gamer at all before that. I wanted my linear games. I still kind of prefer my linear games, but I definitely prefer open world much more now. After seeing a game like that where I can go do anything and I feel like I can create whatever adventure I want for the character that I have.
Gotcha.
In any one play session. And it's just those are the 3 games that I would say really shaped me as a gamer and made me really appreciate the medium as art rather than just entertainment. So
Like the game that actually got me to buy a 360, and I don't know what would have was actually Guitar Hero 3. You're talking about it. I bought Guitar Hero 3 and I bought the 360 when I was out of town at a hotel, and that was my first ever up to date system basically.
Gotcha.
Okay. So just real quick for me, Tetris. I lived in Korea in the late 80s. That's where I grew up, and we got a lot of multi-carts. Some Chinese hacked multi-carts. But I do remember Super Mario Brothers specifically, and then Tetris specifically. Just playing with my family is kind of like a family game night thing that we did. Where hey, I'm gonna beat you at Tetris tonight, so we get together and play some Tetris and also Pac-Man. So late NES days.
cool.
Cool.
Yep. We had one more question from Brandon Myers. Brandon Meyer asked, what are your thoughts on cross-platform play? Do you believe all consoles should be able to play cross-platform?
I believe it.
gonna-
Will it ever happen? I think it's a pipe dream.
I gotta go on this one because I gotta say something real quick, and then you guys can go into your Switch defense mode. When
What?
it's never gonna happen with the Switch because when you have to have a special freaking headset to just be able to talk to somebody playing Splatoon 2.
Yeah, you saw that
Yes.
weirdo headset.
That's the dumbest
my
thing
God.
I've ever seen. And
Oh,
I didn't put it in the news. I didn't put it in the news because I didn't want to turn into Switch Bash Fest.
No, you're right. It's ridiculous. Talk about
So
it.
explain this. I don't know about this, so I'm curious.
So there's a rumor, the report is that Splatoon 2 is going to come with its own little headset in the box.
It's not a rumor.
Yeah, it's actually for sure.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
makes sense.
so
though.
it's
This
coming-
kind of sounds like what they
Stop
do.
it, Graham, stop it.
No, I'm saying it makes sense.
If I
Not
had
like
a newspaper, I'd whack you on the nose right now.
I don't mean in
And-
general it makes sense. It just makes Nintendo sense.
So they're going to send a special headset where you have to connect like multiple wires different places
Oh no.
just to be able to talk to people while you're playing the game.
So I put up the article on our Facebook page. The adapter is shaped like a squid. It is shaped like a squid. It has 2 tentacles. So you have to have 2 cables. One hooks into the actual switch, and then the other has to hook up to your headset jack on your phone. And then coming out of the top is the actual headset.
Mm-hmm.
So it splits. So this is, I don't know what year Nintendo is, but it's worse than like an old PS2 headset from back in the
It
day.
looks like what I have to do to get our party chat into Twitch.
Mm.
It kind of looks like that.
It looks like something that you had to do in like the early 2000s to get
Yes.
your PS2 or Xbox hooked up to the internet.
Yep.
If you had dial-up, you had to switch between dial-up and the Ethernet cables. But it's ridiculous, and it's
That's
ridiculous that
ridiculous.
you have to. I don't understand why they don't just have a Bluetooth headset that can hook up directly to the Switch.
Yeah.
So, if you plan on playing on your TV, you can't even play on your TV because you have to have the Switch. You have to have the actual handheld
Oh,
console.
Jesus Christ.
So you
Yeah.
can't even play because the cable has to be connected to the Switch.
So how does it connect? Is it USB-C or?
No,
It's a
with
short cable.
auxiliary.
It's auxiliary. They're all
Yeah.
auxiliary.
So you have to have your
And
phone
it's-
out, your Switch,
Yep.
and the headset.
Yes,
like
because
3 wires.
sorry, Graham. The chat goes through an app on your phone.
I was gonna say, does the phone provide phantom power or something?
No, it's. I'm sorry. That's one part we left out. The chat actually goes through an app on your phone. It doesn't even go through the console.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you
game
gotta be
audio
kidding
comes from
me.
the console. Yeah. It's bad. I wish I could write an article on it for Xbox culture, but it's not going to happen. But
Don't worry,
yeah,
Nintendo Culture will be around soon enough, so you'll be able to get that in there. But
I'm
How
going
is
to
that
write
not
now.
already a thing?
But anyway, so cross-platform play.
Mm-hmm.
so let me finish real quick. So when it comes to Xbox and Sony, should it happen? Absolutely. This is 2017, and all this technology is available. In fact, Microsoft has said they're willing to do it. All it's going to take at this point is Sony saying, okay. Now, Sony, again, being a company that's all about choice for gamers, are you going to give gamers a choice whether or not they want to play with people on Xbox, or are you going to make the choice for them? Up to you. I understand the business side of it, but you're already so far ahead that what's it going to hurt? And
Yeah.
I don't see why not, but they won't do it. Sony won't do
So
I know what.
go ahead.
It's very simple. Well, I mean, not that I'm not being condescending. I mean, it's just money. It's just money.
Yeah.
Because if you have 7 friends that play on the PS4 and you really want an Xbox, and you all play Rocket League and it's going to be cross-platform compatible, then one guy's going to go buy the Xbox to the PS4, and that takes money out of their pocket.
So I
Yeah.
totally agree with you, Mike.
Mhm.
It all comes down to money, and it all comes down to competition. So where's the competition anymore? There's no purpose to be a PlayStation gamer or an Xbox gamer because you can play any game together. It's not going to work. So I agree that some games, it may work. Like Rocket League, it doesn't matter what platform you play on. But when it comes to games like Call of Duty or Destiny, they want, PlayStation and Xbox fight over who's going to have exclusive rights to early access for for Call of Duty, or early access to Destiny, or the exclusive DLC. You can't have that if there's going to be cross-platform play. So I agree that on certain games that it could work, like Rocket League. I think that would be a fantastic game. And actually, when those rumors came out that hey, Xbox is all good for it, is about Rocket League specifically, and that could work on that. And it worked with Final Fantasy back in the day. And actually, Microsoft was the opposite of Sony. Sony was all for cross-platform on Final Fantasy. I think that's a great console to do it on, and they actually do it with Final Fantasy Online. You can play 14 is what I'm talking about. You can play with PC players and chat and communicate and play together. But I don't think it can work because, like what Mike said, it's all about money. It's all about getting exclusive rights, and this is the system that you need to play Call of Duty on or Destiny. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So you bring up a great point. You're right. What if you said we'll do cross-platform play 6 months in to a game's release to breathe life into it?
No,
But here's the thing, though. A lot of times games lose their online life after 4 or 5 months. All it takes is a simple unlock.
Yeah, but that's why. I mean,
So
it's
why not do
bullshit.
it at that point?
It's
to breathe life
bullcrap
into
at
the
that
game?
point.
So why not do it to breathe life in the game?
So I think what it comes down to is most of the games that you play have dedicated servers. So who's going to
They
host
do.
the servers, and who's going to host the servers, and who's going to pay for that? Because that's what it comes down to is
Yep.
that when it comes to a game like Destiny, it's who's going to pay to support these matches. And
Right.
there'll be too many fights, and there'll be too many rights, and
No.
it'll
And
just be human.
You're right, and,
So-
and I agree. I think we're all in agreement so far that it's never going to happen. But who else? Graham and David, what do you think?
I think cross-platform play could be a thing. I get what you guys say. It's a business thing. Somebody's got to make money off of it and all this stuff. But it's when it comes down to it, you're all just playing the same game. Just let everybody play the same game together.
Yeah.
Why you got to alienate everybody?
Yeah.
And I get, and I'm with you on that 100%. But I also get like what Eugene and Mike are saying, where these companies like Sony and Microsoft spend millions and millions of dollars to get like exclusivity for either DLC or time DLC or something to get people to play that game on that platform. And plus,
That sounds like their problem.
yeah, it is.
Why
It's-
would I want to get a PS4 just so I could? Oh man, I can get this stupid piece of armor in Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I'm with you. I mean, what ultimately made the decision for me to get the console I got in 2013 was where do all my friends play?
Yeah,
the people I
yeah.
enjoy playing with, they all play on Xbox, so that's what I got.
Yeah.
And actually, I did get a PS4 at launch too, but that's one of the big reasons I kept going back to Xbox. That's where my friends are.
Yeah.
So
Same here. I got an Xbox One on day. My big, because I used to work at a game store, and everyone's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, which one's better?" And I'd be like, "Well, here's the thing. What do your friends play on? You care about exclusive.
Yep.
Which controller do you like?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me, the controller was a big part of it. So I
Yeah.
Oh
it
yeah.
is.
not
Oh
a
yeah.
fan of the DualShock.
Oh yeah, I've been a
Yeah.
strong arguing that Xbox controller's been better all the time, and the newest one of the PlayStation really resembles an Xbox as close as possible, but I still think
without
Xbox
the
still gets
offset
right.
thumbsticks.
But
It still doesn't
having
have the offsets.
having
So-
said that too, the Nintendo's Pro controller is an amazing
I
controller.
was about to say.
I
I was about to
know,
say.
I know.
Yeah, I was like, come on, even Nintendo has the offset. Come
Yeah.
on.
But
Yeah.
and really, to be fair, for me anyway, the DualShock 4, I only like it for one game, and that's MLB The Show, and that's because that's the only controller I can use for that game.
Yeah.
I have nothing to compare it to, so
Yeah.
I've gotten used to playing it on that controller.
As I say, I absolutely hate that controller because sometimes when I try to find that options button, I can't find it. So if you're
Yeah.
playing a game where you got to quickly hit it or something like that, I'm sure if I kept playing it, my muscle memory would help me. But
Mhm.
just picking it up every once in a while, it's I got to reconfigure myself to figure out this controller.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Graham, what are your thoughts? You think it's ever going to happen?
My thoughts is as close as you're going to get to it is you're going to get between PC to Xbox, PS4 to Vita or whatever,
Yep.
and 3DS to Switch. They're going to stay in their own little networks and stuff like that. It would be great to see, but like you said, you guys all raised great points about it's the money thing, it's exclusivity, it's there's just too many things where it's it makes more sense for them to not allow it than let us have the freedom. So it'd be great, but we're not going to see it. That's my
But
opinion.
the point I love that you brought up, though, and sorry, whoever else is trying to go, but is the PC part for Xbox, because I think they're going to do a lot with that at E3.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think they're gonna drop a bombshell with that at E3, something, and it's either gonna be exclusive agreement with a developer or publisher, or something with Steam,
Mm-hmm.
and because they've been building a relationship with Steam, so we'll see what
Yeah.
it ends up being, but that would be a huge way.
I think that's going to be one of my predictions. I'm not going to spoil it, but I've said
Yeah.
it before about Steam
Too
and
late.
Xbox. I'm going to make that one of my predictions. No, I've said it before. I've talked about it. So,
It's
but
going to
I was going to say,
Steam.
yeah.
So
You
we're
know,
not gonna
you know what
ruin
I
it.
was going to say
Yeah.
about exclusivity, and you know what I wish would really happen is if Nintendo, and I'm going to drop a bombshell on you, Graham. I wish Nintendo would stop making consoles and just be a publisher and then make their
Yes.
games for
Yes,
PlayStation.
me
and
too.
Tyler's been saying that too,
Make
but
make
I don't.
games
I
for
don't
what,
know.
Eugene?
For Sony and Microsoft, just
Yeah.
be a publisher. Make a
Yes.
Mario game, and I know
Kind of
that
like
they-
what Sega did.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly. Except I don't want them to go out of business. I just want them. I
Oh.
really don't want them to make consoles anymore because they're not great consoles makers, but they're great makers of video games, and that's where all their
Yeah.
money is.
So
Bring
you
me
think
that.
we'll ever see a Zelda game on a
So,
on an
It's a good
Xbox?
I think it's a possibility in the future if they keep making these flops with their consoles, which Switch is successful so far, but you cannot buy one right now. That's
But,
the
here,
issue.
but
You
here's,
can't buy.
here's the question, though. So I was just going to ask Graham this. And do you love the Switch so far because of Zelda, or do you love Zelda because of the Switch? And I think most people would say they love the Switch because of Zelda. That Zelda's such a great game.
I made that
Good for
point.
Mario Kart.
And Mario Kart. You know what I mean, though? But it's the games that make that system.
Yes.
It's not the system that makes the games.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I love my Switch. I love Nintendo. I always love Nintendo. But the last game that I bought was Street Fighter for the Switch a week ago, actually, and I played it a little bit, and I got tired of it just because it's just not a fantastic game. They don't have a lot of games on the Switch. So exactly like you said, right now it's I played it for Zelda, and I still play it for Mario Kart. But I mean, I got about the same Mario Kart on the Wii U rather. And then I could have gotten Zelda on the Wii U as well, but I like my Switch, but I don't know, kind of going off tangent, but
Like
going on.
I like my Switch too, but since I have the Pro controller, I've interacted with the Switch less. I probably just pretty much pick up the controller and turn it on and use it as a console instead of a handheld.
Well,
Like
yeah,
before, I was like more interacting, like sliding
So,
off the
about
joystick.
the Pro controller, why didn't they?
Oh.
We were talking about the headset. Why didn't they include a headset jack in the Pro controller?
I know that's
That's
like
a
one
good
of the things
question.
I look for too.
because then you'd have to include 4 wires to hook it to your phone and the Switch and the TV and your dog.
And
But
the
I don't have a
hamsters.
dog.
Well, then you don't get to talk to people.
Well, damn it.
So, all right, is that it for questions?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us for episode number 51. David, thank you for joining us. We'd love
Thanks
to
for
have
having
you
me.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'd
thank
love,
you.
We'd love to have you back during E3 week if you wanted to come back and talk about one of the conferences.
Yeah, I think
But,
they got me doing Ubisoft.
Cool.
Oh,
we would
yay.
love. We would
For
love,
you.
We would love to have you on to talk Ubisoft on Monday evening. So
Dude, honestly, I'm probably just gonna bash it because I hate Ubisoft.
that
I
is
was
fine.
thinking
That's
we'll
fine
have you
because
on there
what-
because nobody else wants to talk about them.
because what we do on Mondays, we actually do Ubisoft and Sony together. So in one show. So it'll be fun to bash Ubisoft for 15 minutes and then talk about Sony for an hour. So that's generally how it works out. So because I think last year we talked about Steep for like 5 minutes and we talked about South Park for 10, and then we talked about Sony. If I remember right.
Give us Black Flag 2,
Yeah.
then we'll
Just-
talk good about you.
Yeah, something like that. Just give us games when you say you're going to have them out. That's all I want.
Yeah.
So, all right, but thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, man, and we'd love to have you back E3 week and of course beyond that as well. Please, everybody, head on over to xboxculture.net. Check out David's review of Friday the 13th and check out the articles that we're writing. We have 2 big articles coming out for pre-E3, predictions, and what we want to see, and then another one on what each major company needs to do to be successful. So please check those out. Help support us there. Help support our podcast by heading on to Facebook and joining the Third Son Gaming Podcast forums. Where you can ask questions, and if they're read on the show, you'll be submitted. You'll be entered, to win our monthly giveaways, just like the 4 people were tonight. So, with that, for Mike, Graham, Eugene, and David, I am Tyler saying thank you so much for joining us for episode number 51. We'll be back next week with episode number 52, the final episode before E3. Until then, everybody, have a great week. Stay safe, play some great games, and we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Take care, everyone.
Later.
Bye.